And he went ballistic. And he called me, and that's the last thing I heard was, motherfucker, fuck you, you're supposed to be my boy, and blah, blah. And I said, man, I gotta do my job. And we haven't spoken since that night, and that was probably close to 10 years ago. That would be on his end, Matt. He was my best friend at the time, and I love the guy and I miss the guy.
Charles Barkley once truly believed he was the best basketball player alive, better than Michael Jordan. Two NBA legends, two alpha competitors whose friendship survived draft night wars, finals pressure, and Olympic gold, until one phone call in 2012 shattered it for good. This is the story of how Barkley accepted Jordan was above him, and how that realization slowly cracked their brotherhood.
We put our friendship aside.
Yeah.
It's 1993. Charles Barkley isn't hoping he's the best. He's convinced of it. Not second, not close. The best on earth. He just won MVP, dragged Phoenix to a 62-20 record, and flipped the whole league upside down. When he arrived in that Suns locker room, he walked in like the crown already belonged to him. And here's the twist. This wasn't some random player running his mouth. Barkley was a certified Hall of Fame force who beat Jordan for MVP by a landslide. 59 first-place votes to Jordan's 13. The league made its choice, so when Barkley told Cotton Fitzsimmons he was the best in the world and they were heading to the finals, he meant every word. Cotton warned him Michael would be waiting. Barkley didn't blink. He said, "I think I'm better than Michael Jordan." And he had numbers to stand on.
But I still, I finished with like 48, 49, somewhere in there, 26, something like that. But Michael fucking had like 55.
Ooh.
That night when I was like, this motherfucker ain't gonna let me win this thing.
25.6 points, 12.2 rebounds, 5.1 assists, over 50% shooting. Best record in basketball. On paper, he had a case. What makes this deeper is their history. Drafted in 1984, they grew close fast. Dream Team brothers in Barcelona, where Barkley even averaged 18 points to Jordan's 14.8. They golfed, laughed, partied, built real trust. Fans later saw flashes of that bond in The Last Dance. But belief is one thing. Reality hits different when the finals lights turn on. If any duo defined NBA friendship in the 90s, it was Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley.
Yeah, I remember going home. When I got home, my daughter was upset. And I said, I had told her before, I said, ain't nobody in the world better at basketball than your dad, and we're gonna win this fucking series. When I got home, she was crying. And I was like, she said, "Dad, I thought you told me y'all were gonna win." I said, Christiana, I ain't never said this before. I think there's somebody better at basketball than me.
But when the finals arrived, loyalty took a back seat to legacy. Immortality was on the line. The stage was perfect. Jordan's Bulls, led by Phil Jackson, were chasing a third straight ring after titles in 91 and 92. Yet in 1993, Chicago won 57 games, 5 fewer than Phoenix. The Suns looked ready to take over. Jordan still delivered monster numbers: 32.6 points, 6.7 rebounds, 5.5 assists. But the narrative had shifted. This was Barkley's moment.
That would be on his end, Matt. He was my best friend at the time, and I love the guy and I miss the guy.
Barkley explained.
First of all, I don't think it's fair for me to critique other GMs and coaches and have a double standard. That goes back to the Skip Bayless thing. Like, you can tell the guys he liked and guys he disliked. I think I'm fair to everybody. And he went ballistic. And he called me, and we haven't spoken since that night.
The conversation got ugly fast.
Motherfucker, fuck you, you're supposed to be my boy.
Or so it seemed. Game 1 snapped everyone back to reality. Bulls win 100-92. Jordan drops 31. Barkley finishes with 21. Statement made. Then Game 2 exploded. Both superstars scored 42. Only the second time in finals history opponents each hit 40+ in the same game. But Jordan didn't stop at scoring. He added 12 rebounds and 9 assists. Total control. Bulls win 111-108. Phoenix down 0-2 at home, pressure rising fast. Game 3 turned into chaos, triple overtime in Chicago Stadium. Kevin Johnson played 62 of 63 minutes. Dan Majerle hit clutch shots to extend it. Barkley, fighting through an injured right elbow, pulled down 19 rebounds with 24 points. Suns survived 129-121. Series alive.
We haven't spoken since that night, and that was probably close to 10 years ago.
But after the win, Barkley made a mistake. Seeing Jordan took 43 shots, he said, "Man, Michael Jordan shot the ball 43 times. Damn, that's unbelievable. He's gonna be icing his elbow too."
Barkley should have called Jordan. That's really what this comes down to. And one of the things that I'm not going to let anybody lie on Charles Barkley, and I'm not going to let anybody lie on Michael Jordan, because I know them a little bit. Michael Jordan is not how Charles Barkley just described him.
That comment, dangerous. Because when you poke Jordan, you better be ready. And Game 4 was coming fast. 55 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 21 of 37 shooting in Chicago with the crowd shaking the building, and a 3-1 series lead on the line. Michael Jordan was on another level that night, locked in, cold, relentless. Barkley showed up too. 32 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists, a triple-double. On most nights, against almost anyone else, that wins you the game. But this wasn't anyone else. This was Jordan when he smelled blood. The turning point wasn't Game 6. It wasn't John Paxson's championship 3. It happened in Game 4. That's when Barkley looked across the floor and understood the truth. He wasn't facing a great player. He was facing someone who refused to lose under any circumstances, a different breed. Phoenix stole Game 5 and pushed it back home, but mentally, the shift had already happened. In Game 6, with the Game 7 within reach, Paxson drilled that 3 with 3.9 seconds left. Bulls win 99-98, 3 straight titles, dynasty sealed. When the buzzer sounded, Barkley felt it. The door had closed. That night, he went home and found his daughter crying. She told him, "Daddy, you lost again." That cut deeper than any stat line ever could. For a man who believed his whole career he was the best in the world, accepting that someone stood above him hit hard. Barkley averaged 27.3 points and 13 rebounds in that series, numbers that would define most careers. But Jordan averaged 41 points per game, a finals record that still stands. The loss didn't kill their friendship, not at first. They stayed tight for years. After retirement, Barkley joined TNT's NBA coverage on Inside the NBA, while Jordan stepped into ownership with the Charlotte Hornets. They talked often. The bond seemed solid. Then in 2012, one TV segment and one phone call changed everything. On Inside the NBA, Charles Barkley did what he's always done. He spoke his truth. And his truth was simple. Michael Jordan, the greatest player ever, was struggling as an executive. The Charlotte Hornets were losing. Draft picks looked shaky. The front office wasn't clicking. Barkley said Jordan's leadership wasn't working off the court the way it did on it. For most analysts, criticizing an owner is routine, just business. But this wasn't random names. This was Barkley and this was Jordan, supposed to be brothers. That night, Jordan called, and according to Chuck, his airness exploded. The conversation turned heated fast. Nearly 3 decades of friendship wiped out in one intense phone call. What makes it painful is how clear it reflects who they are. Jordan, wired to compete and demand loyalty, couldn't accept public criticism from someone he considered family. To him, that crossed the line. Barkley saw it differently. He believed honesty mattered more than comfort. He built his TV career on saying what others avoid. Barkley was also frustrated that Jordan later made peace with Phil Jackson, who had questioned Jordan's management style too. Yet Jackson got forgiveness. Chuck didn't. That stung. The real issue? Pride. 2 dominant personalities who never back down. Jordan expects loyalty from his inner circle. That's how he's built. Barkley's identity is blunt truth. That's how he survives in media. Stephen A. Smith even weighed in on the feud, pointing out how strong personalities can clash when respect and criticism collide. The irony is wild. In 1993, they put friendship aside to chase a title. Years later, without a trophy on the line, that same friendship fell apart. Jordan proved he was the better player that June. Barkley admitted it and never walked it back. Now they're in their 60s, grandfathers, icons. Jordan with 6 rings, the Air Jordan empire, and billions. And the bond that once felt unbreakable, gone. Barkley has his Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame legacy and a massive TV contract worth over $100 million. Jordan has 6 rings and a billion-dollar empire, but what neither man has anymore is each other. In recent interviews, when asked if things could ever be fixed, Barkley keeps it short. Jordan has my number. That's it. The ball, like always with these two fierce competitors, sits in someone else's hands. Still, knowing their pride and stubborn streaks, it feels like this silence might last forever. The moment that broke Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan wasn't just one night, it was 2. June 16th, 1993, when Jordan dropped 55 and Barkley saw the gap, and then 2012. When one phone call ended a brotherhood that once felt untouchable. Both nights exposed the same reality. Michael Jordan refuses to lose, not on the court, not in the finals, not even in a personal clash. And this time, nobody walked away a winner. If this story hit you, make sure to like, subscribe, and share for more deep NBA breakdowns.